Hi everyone, welcome back to Stitching with Samantha. My name is Samantha and today I'm going to be showing you how to make these adorable monthly milestone keepsakes for your baby. I'm currently 30 weeks pregnant with my second daughter and I'm making all the keepsakes, and today I'm making some of her monthly milestone hoops. I've got to make 12 of them, but this is such a fun project and I think it just brings a handmade touch to your baby keepsakes. So if you're ready, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to make these monthly milestone hoops. Let's go. First, I'm going to be walking you through what supplies you need for this project. So first, you're going to need an embroidery hoop. I like to use Beechwood embroidery hoops because you're able to tighten the hardware manually, and that just makes them so secure while stitching. And then for fabric, I like to use a cotton fabric. This is Kona cotton white fabric, and I'll link all the supplies in the description of this video. And this is a size 5 embroidery needle. It's my favorite needle to use on regular embroidery projects. And you're also going to need DMC embroidery thread. Here are the skeins that I used for this project. These are actually from my colorful thread pack on Etsy, and it's a fun selection of colors. And you're also going to need scissors, any will do. Lastly, you're going to need patterns. I print all of my patterns on water-soluble embroidery stabilizer. I will also link that in the description. You can buy the printable version of these in my Etsy shop, and you can print on the stabilizer yourself. To prep our project, we're first going to take the inner part of the embroidery hoop and we're going to put it behind our 2 layers of fabric. I do 2 layers of fabric because when you're stitching, it is not see-through and it provides a more stable canvas. You're going to tighten your fabric as much as you can so that it has a drum-like texture. Now we're going to take our monthly design and we are going to peel it off the backing and place it on our embroidery hoop. Make sure that there's no bubbles and everything is laying flat. Now with our dark green thread, we are going to start and we're going to get about an arm's length of thread, separate it in half. It's going to be 3 strands for this entire project. Then we're going to put it through the eye of our needle. You're going to want to hang down so that it has a little tail, and then on the other end, we're going to tie a knot on the end. This is how I tie a knot, but feel free to do any technique that you want to use. This is just how I learned to tie a knot. Now we're ready to start stitching. For the words, we're going to be using back stitch. So we're going to bring our needle up at the start of the first letter, kind of anywhere you want to begin, but this is a good place to start because I'm going to move around the letter. So then about 1/4 of a centimeter, we're going to bring our needle back down and form a straight stitch. Next, we're going to skip ahead another 1/4 of an inch, and these are going to be really tiny stitches for this pattern. We're going to bring our needle up and then bring our needle back down in the exact same hole that our last stitch ended. So you're bringing your needle back, basically, is why it's called back stitch. So we're going to bring our needle forward, bring it up, and then back down to our previous stitch. Now we're going to skip ahead and move directions and do the same thing, bring our needle up and then back down to our previous stitches. You're going to continue doing this process, moving up the letter, and for the skinniest parts of the letter, we're going to be doing just 1 row of back stitch. Once we get to the thicker part of the letter, we're going to be doing 2 rows of back stitch. So just beside your other row, you're going to be doing another back stitch beside that. So as you can see, you can either just go down all the way and then go back and do your second line, or I'm doing the 2 lines at once, just beside each other. So you're going to keep doing this process, filling in the entirety of the words. Once you place your last back stitch and you are done with the entire word, we are going to go on the back of our fabric and tie off our thread. So I'm going to show you how I tie off for little hoop projects like this. So I go ahead and make a loop, bringing my needle through the loop, and then I pull my fingers as tight as I can towards the fabric and then pull it into a knot. So I'm going to show you one more time. I just like to do this because it makes my knot as close to the fabric as possible, but you can tie a normal knot if you like. Now, still using our dark green thread with 3 strands, we are going to do leaf stitch for the leaves. So we're going to bring our needle up at the top of that middle line of the leaf, and then at the very tip of the leaf, we're going to bring our needle back down. So this would be a small straight stitch. And then we're going to bring our needle below our previous stitch in the middle, and then we're going to pull it up all of the way, and then bring our needle below the top of the leaf, just slightly to the side. And we're going to bring it down. Pull tight, and then we're going to bring our needle up on the other side of the top, just slightly below that first stitch too. And then we're going to bring it back down underneath our stitches in the middle. So you're going to be doing this kind of diagonal stitching for each side of the leaf, and that is leaf stitch. So you're going to continue doing that, moving your way down the leaf. So each time you're going to bring your needle up at the top on the side and then bring it back down underneath your stitches in the middle. We are now going to thread our needle with our pink yarn, and we are going to do a woven wheel for the roses. So to start a woven wheel, we're going to do a straight stitch for each spoke of the wheel. So we're going to bring our needle up and then back down in the middle. So for each line here, we're going to bring our needle up on the outside and bring it back down in the middle. Then we are going to bring our needle through the middle of one of those spokes, and as close to the center as you can, we're going to bring it up. And then we are going to start weaving our needle through the spokes. You can see I skipped over the first spoke and I'm going underneath the second. So then after that, I'm going to skip another one and then go underneath the one after that. So basically you're just alternating each time, and it creates this lovely rose effect. So once you're done filling in the entirety of the rose, going over and under, we're going to bring our needle to the back of the thread and then tie it off and then move on to your next rows. Now with our orange thread, we are going to do satin stitch for our other flowers. So we're going to bring our needle up at the top of the flower and then back down in the middle of the flower. Then for our next stitch, we're going to come up beside that top stitch, but then we're only going to bring our needle down halfway, and our needle is going to go a little bit underneath our first stitch. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, bringing our needle up at the top and then bringing it halfway down the flower underneath our middle stitch. This creates a kind of fan look because we're doing a circular shape with satin stitch. So then after that, we can go to the side of that, bring our needle up at the top and then bring it back down all the way this time. And you're going to continue doing that on the sides of the flower, following the guide, and your stitches are going to get a little bit smaller each time as you get to the edge of the petal, and you're just going to completely fill it in. And we're going to do that for all of the petals so that we have a nice looking flower at the end. We are then going to take our yellow thread and putting it through our needle, tying off each time. We're going to start doing French knots in the center of those flowers we just stitched. So you're going to wrap your needle around your thread twice, and then with your left hand, if you're right-handed, you're going to hold it to the side, pull it tight, and then you're going to bring your needle through that little knot to the back, and it's going to form a French knot. While we still have our yellow thread, we are now going to do lazy daisy stitches for the daisies, which is the last flower of our pattern. So you're going to bring your needle up completely, and then the same hole, bring your needle back down. And this is going to be at the base of the petal. And then you're going to have this little loop, and then at the top of the petal, you're going to bring your needle up through that loop. And then you're going to pull it tight, and that loop is going to catch on your thread. Next, you're going to take your needle on the outside of that loop. It's very important it's on the outside, and then pull it tight, and you're going to have a little straight stitch that catches the loop. So we're going to do that one more time so you can see it. So we're going to take our needle back down the same hole at the base of the petal. Then at the top of the petal, we're going to bring our needle up through the loop, pull it tight so that the loop catches, and then once the loop catches, we're going to bring our needle back on the outside of the loop to form a little straight stitch to anchor it in place. You're going to fill in every daisy with these lazy daisy stitches, and then we're going to go back to our orange thread and we're going to do a French knot for the center of these flowers. French knot can be a little bit tricky. I have more in-depth tutorials on my channel, and you should check out my beginner stitch archive if you really want to see slowed down stitches. But you're going to go ahead and do a French knot for the center of all of our daisies as well. And with my light green thread, I'm going to finish all the rest of the leaves on the pattern, and once we tie off our thread, we're ready to wash off the stabilizer. I love using the stabilizer because it washes off easily with water, and it's just so convenient for stitching with a guide, but then it washes off. So you're gonna see here, it's gonna come off completely, but then we have to use soap and water for 3 to 5 minutes after that to make sure that we get all of the stabilizer and ink out from underneath our stitches. So you can see I'm really scrubbing here. Make sure to do this and then repeat if you see anything still on there. To back the hoop, I just cut a circle in felt the size of my hoop. I'm gonna stick it on the inside here, and then I'm gonna do running stitch to close up my hoop. So you're going to bring your needle and thread with a knot on the end through the middle of the fabric. And then on the outside, we are going to take our needle down and then back up about 1 inch ahead. We're gonna pull it tight. We're gonna do that again 2 times this time. All while on the surface of the fabric, we're going to bring our needle down, up, down, and then back up and pull it tight. So I'm gonna show you one more time, and then once you're done doing this with the entire outside of the hoop, you're gonna pull it tight, and then we're going to tie a knot, and we are now done. You finished your hoop, and now you have 11 more if you're making milestones. You can add a bow to all of them and just finish them off nicely. I love this project, and I'm so excited to take pictures of my daughter with all 12 months.